Hello everyone and welcome to the first feature focus article for Jurassic World Evolution 2. There are a couple of things in this article that I wanted to discuss with you right away and use that as a springboard to talk about an important improvement we might see in the game overall. I wasn't sure if you guys wanted me to cover the feature focus article since I promised you no spam after all, but if you do like me covering these, give the video a thumbs up to let me know, and for now, let's just get into this feature focus. By the way, if I sound tired, I am. I just woke up from a nap. Wow, I feel very old saying that. But I had a couple of sleepless nights, so I needed to catch up on that. Just some pet worries that turned out to be for nothing, thankfully. But yeah, the reason this video is late is because I was taking a nap. Awesome. Anyway, there is a lot of overlap between the feature focus article and the Game Informer article from yesterday? I want to say yesterday. The day before? I literally just woke up, guys. But information is always better from the horse's mouth, and the three overarching takeaways from this article are realistic dinosaurs, in-depth management, and quality of life. If you've been a fan of Jurassic World Evolution, the OG one, these three things might be triggering. Now, if the article had also addressed customization, then it would have really been the four horsemen of the Dewey apocalypse, because pretty much every complaint with the original game can be filed under one of those four categories. Which is why I think it is a super positive thing that they are being addressed. I really feel like Frontier has listened, at least within reason, you know? So, about more realistic dinosaurs, they write, your dinosaurs will exhibit new behaviors and react to their surroundings. We've added new animations for when dinosaurs are resting, socializing, walking, running, hunting, and fighting, making them more realistic and natural. Carnivores suited for it will engage in pack hunts and show a more dynamic range of movement when taking down prey. The important takeaway here is that they have added new animations for these behaviors. Three lovely words to have in succession. This little bit also confirms that it's not just the raptors that will display pack hunting. That was a question mark that I definitely still had in my head, that the raptors might be the only exception, but it's very good to know that that is not the case. Now, speaking of dinosaur behavior, we will be able to tweak their behaviors through genetic modification, but more on that later. The article also states, if several dinosaurs share the same enclosure, their territories might overlap and you might start to see fights for dominance. Luckily, certain species get along better with others, letting you create peaceful enclosures by housing compatible dinosaurs together. This should lead to very interesting interspecies interactions, but what it also does, and that is how we slide into the next point, it creates a challenge for us as park managers. There might even be bonuses to your dinosaur and park ratings if compatible dinosaurs share an enclosure. If they can be buddies, you get a bonus. If they don't get along, they could end up fighting for territory. The dinosaur behavior is therefore going to have a direct effect on our management. Taking care of our dinosaurs is going to be more in-depth and more challenging. That makes the animals more realistic and gives us, hopefully, more to do than just click on that, wait 2 minutes, huzzah! Wounded and sick dinosaurs can be treated in the field by the Mobile Veterinary Unit, a new park team we're introducing in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Major injuries will need to be treated at the Paleo Medical Facility. We will have more to share about this at a later date, which is Frontier's new catchphrase, by the way. But anyway, I absolutely love this. It's something really small. It's something I haven't even considered asking for, but it's such a nice touch that for larger injuries, the dinosaur basically has to go to the emergency room. It's really nice. The article goes on to say, to stay on top of the welfare needs of your dinosaurs, your ranger teams can link up to ranger posts that can be placed inside your enclosures. These will be visited by rangers when they're out on patrols, letting them scan every dinosaur within range of the post. You can still task a ranger with scanning an individual dinosaur in case you need an update on how it's doing. This ties into what Andrew Reiner wrote for Game Informer. He mentioned in that article that dinosaur stats have a sort of fog of war element to it. So I take this to mean that instead of clicking on a dinosaur and getting all of their information in a pop-up, you need to send a ranger out to actually monitor your dinosaurs and gather up-to-date information on their welfare. All of it is stuff for us to do as park managers. The territorial behavior of the dinosaurs is also going to throw a wrench into our exploitment of the dinosaurs, because it's not going to be a case of just placing a feeder in front of a gallery to get maximum visibility. Dinosaurs will gradually meander through the exhibit. You might even call it migrate if the exhibit is big enough, and then all of a sudden your viewing gallery only lets your guests look at trees. And I mean, they're nice trees, they're perfectly fine trees, spared no expense. But that's not what your guests came for. So it looks like we really have to plan our exhibits carefully to ensure the dinosaurs want to stay within range of the viewing galleries. Now back to dinosaur behavior. We can tweak this through genetic modification. I'm surprised they went this route. I thought genetic modification would more or less be shunned and take a back seat, but well, there it is. As we bioengineer our dinosaurs, we can make tweaks. What's interesting is that it works different from how it currently works. In the current version of the game, you know exactly what the effects of your tweaking will be. This time around, the results of your genetic meddling isn't revealed until the end of the synthesis stage, one of two stages that it now takes to bring a dinosaur back into the modern world. I also predict I'm going to stumble on the word synthesis quite a lot. Anyway, in synthesis, you can create a clutch of eggs and can apply genetic modifications to tweak everything from dinosaur social traits, lifespan, and skin patterns and coloration. The results of genetic modifications are revealed at the end of the synthesis stage, and your dinosaurs may have both desirable and undesirable traits depending on the modifications you choose. In incubation, the dinosaurs are raised to adulthood inside the hatchery, and the dinosaurs can be released into your park. Very nice. It introduces an element of uncertainty, chaos, if you will. Note how they also mention skin patterns and coloration. That's another hint that we are indeed getting that skin customization that I discussed in my previous video. So how I imagine this works is you do your evil scientist thing, you shuffle the genetic code around a bit, and then you wait for a while for the synthesis phase to complete. When that is completed, the stats for the individual dinosaurs from the clutch of eggs will show, and you will see their physical appearance and get info on the behavioral effects of your interference, and I'm assuming you will then have the option to terminate some of those, which sounds kind of harsh, but this is before the incubation stage, and it makes no sense for the two stages to be so distinct if you can't intervene. If you're just gonna have to incubate all the eggs anyway, why would they separate it into a synthesis stage and an incubation stage, right? Did Jurassic World Evolution 2 just become pro-choice? Oh boy, don't go there, no politics, ah! And in the incubation stage, dinosaurs grow to adulthood inside the hatchery, after which you can release them. Again, no baby dinosaurs. I know some people are still hopeful. I'd advise against that. Now, bioengineering isn't the only way to get our dinosaurs. Certain modes allow you to transport live dinosaurs into your park from the wild via remote capture and narrative events. And in some levels, there'll be wild dinosaurs. There'll be wild dinosaurs in your surrounding area. Isn't it there? There will be? I don't know. Jesus Christ, this is the third time I've had to reread that. Going back. Certain modes allow you to transport live dinosaurs into your park from the wild via remote capture and narrative events, and in some levels, there will be wild dinosaurs in your surrounding area that you need to locate, tranquilize, and transport back to your facilities. Ensure your enclosures have everything the dinosaur might need in order to thrive. How you respond to these events is up to you, but they will certainly bring in dinosaurs that add something unique to your parks. Especially that last sentence has the imagination running wild. It will certainly bring in dinosaurs that add something unique to your parks. So in these game modes, maybe some species you can never find the DNA of, and you can only have them in your parks through capturing them. It sounds like maybe a combination of the Cure mission and Isla Sorna from the original campaign, and Sanctuary from Claire's Sanctuary. Hopefully, of course, done a little bit better than that. Now we are coming to the thing that I really wanted to talk about, and the thing that convinced me to actually make this video. And it took a while to get here. I sort of flipped it from the last video. Last time I started with the big thing, and now I'm ending with the big thing. I'm keeping you on your toes. I'm keeping it exciting. Quality of life. That's what I really wanted to talk about. 10 minutes in. I've played over 1,000 hours of Jurassic World Evolution. Yes. Yes. Over the course of those 1,000 hours, while I still love the game, clearly, I'm not doing it because I'm a masochist, there are some very real annoyances because the game lacks some simple things that add to quality of life. And just to make sure we're all on the same page here, quality of life in a game just means little solutions that take away certain small annoyances in a game. One of those annoyances being having to incubate and release dinosaurs one at a time. You don't think it when you first start, but yes, after a while, even creating dinosaurs becomes boring. Jurassic World Evolution 2 solves this with the fact that you can synthesize and incubate full clutches of eggs, and you can release multiple dinosaurs at once from the hatchery. Much less hassle, and I can imagine it's going to be quite a sight to behold, especially the first couple of times. It also solves the issue of being able to create only 5 stegosaurs at a time, because that's the max capacity of the hatchery, and then scrambling to make the 6th, because the first 5 start to freak out because they're missing a friend in their squad. Another feature we're excited about is remote release, which lets you transport dinosaurs directly from a hatchery to a different point on the map. This lets you separate hatcheries and enclosures in case you need a little extra space for more dinosaurs. Yes, 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 and yes, but also yes. It's such a hassle that you first have to release them, then send out your ACU to trank them, and then fly them out to their enclosures. It's absolutely fantastic that we can now skip the middleman and go straight from the hatchery to their designated habitat. Now I will note a tiny little thing that I thought, that's kind of weird. What they said in this sentence is, this lets you separate hatcheries and enclosures in case you need a little extra space for more dinosaurs. I was kind of hoping, since they were talking about bigger maps than we have currently, that space wouldn't ever really be an issue, but they're already talking about a space saver here. It's just something I noticed. It's not something to freak out about right away. We're not Stegosaurus missing a buddy. It's just something I noticed while reading through this. So hopefully bigger maps means properly big maps, and we won't need to do like these little space-saving hacks necessarily. That's not what this is about though. Moving on. These are 2 massive upgrades in quality of life. It might not seem like it, but trust me, after 1,000 hours, it will. Now, I really get the sense that this means Frontier has taken criticism into account. They've looked back at the original game and they have learned from some mistakes. Now, I call them mistakes. I don't really think they're mistakes per se. I think they were necessary shortcuts that they made to meet the incredibly strict deadline that they faced for the first game. Hopefully, this time around, they had enough time that none of these shortcuts that we observed in the original game had to be taken this time around. One of the other big things that comes to mind is not being able to see a preview of what your dinosaur looks like before you hatch it. And those skin patterns from the original game didn't make any sense, especially for some species, like the Nasutoceratops, where the rainforest skin, which should have been blue, was pretty much pure white. Given what they said earlier in the article, I feel really positive that we are going to get skin previews, because they say, in synthesis... I knew it. I knew I would trip up over that word. Record scratch, go back. In synthesis, you create a clutch of eggs and can apply genetic modification to tweak everything from dinosaur social stats, lifespan, and skin patterns and coloration. The results of genetic modification are revealed at the end of the synthesis stage. Sorry. Oh my god. I didn't screw up synthesis, I screw up stage. Anyway. I feel pretty confident in assuming that we get that preview this time around. They specifically mention engineering the skins and that you will see the result of your modification at the end of the synthesis stage before you get into incubation. Now, something that we got from Andrew Reiner is that there will be a pause and fast forward option in the game, which will only be disabled during moments of crisis. But at other times, it seems we will be able to pause our game to decorate an enclosure as we see fit, or speed up time to make some quick cash without sitting and waiting for an hour. So in total, that's already 4 confirmed quality of life updates in the span of just 2 days. There are many things that I hope they looked at and improved on, but there is, of course, the holy grail of quality of life, the undo key. Sorry. Will we finally get an undo key? It's probably the biggest frustration I have with the current version of the game. A park builder needs an undo key, okay? If you were here during last Saturday's livestream, I said, okay, I will never make a video on a single tweet or something like that. If I do, it would have to be one heck of a tweet. But I couldn't really think of anything that they could send out in a tweet that I would feel is so huge that it would warrant its own video. Well, now I do. If Frontier ever tweets, oh, by the way, we've added an undo key, I'm sorry folks, I'm gonna make a video on that. Spam or not, you're gonna hear about it right away. Preferably though, it's something that they will address in a future feature-focused article, and I hope that they will address it very, very soon, to just add to my personal excitement. Overall, given all of these little insights, I am very hopeful we are getting more quality of life improvements. Let me know in a comment down below which quality of life improvement you are keeping your fingers crossed for, and I'm gonna stop saying the words quality of life for, let's hope, at least a week or something. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and of course, if you can't get enough of Jurassic World Evolution 2, subscribe to the channel because same. Honestly, same. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy the anticipation and the video spam, apparently. I'm sorry about that.